Batch supplier invoice, multi-line. If the goods or services being bought from your supplier have different nominal codes or tax codes, or need to be split across different departments or projects, one invoice can be entered over many item lines. Let's look at this now. From the Suppliers module, click Batch Invoice. The Batch Supplier Invoice window opens. An asterisk next to a column heading indicates data must be entered in the box. From the A/C drop-down, select the required supplier, then click OK. If no supplier record exists, to create a new one on the fly, click New. Alternatively, use the search box to help you find the supplier instead. For example, if I enter Wallace, then click Search, any supplier records containing the word Wallace appear here. Once selected, some of the boxes are automatically populated. The Attach column enables you to attach relevant documents to the supplier invoice. For example, if your supplier sends their invoices electronically. To attach a document, click the plus sign, then drag and drop the required file here. Alternatively, browse for it here. Multiple attachments can be added, each up to a maximum size of 5 megabytes. If you attach a file in error, to delete it, click the Remove icon. Once you're happy, click OK. The Date box is populated with the current program date. This can be changed if required. If you're entering several invoices for a different date, the default program date can be changed from Settings, Change Program Date. Once the date is selected, the due-on date is populated based on the payment due days set in the supplier record. In this example, invoice payment is due 30 days after the invoice date, calculating the due-on date as the 22nd of March. This can also be changed if required. In the Ref box, enter the supplier invoice number. You have up to 30 alphanumeric characters. In the XREF box, enter any additional reference for the invoice. For example, your purchase order number. Again, you have up to 30 alphanumeric characters. The N/C box is populated with the default nominal code applied in the supplier record. To change this, click the drop-down and select a different nominal code. The Department box is also populated with the default department applied in the supplier record. To change this, click the drop-down and select a different department. The Project Ref and Cost Code boxes appear only in Sage 50 Accounts Professional. To assign a project to the invoice, click each drop-down and select the required option. In the Details box, enter a description for the items purchased. Alternatively, enter generic text. For example, goods. You have up to 60 alphanumeric characters. In the Net box, enter the net value of the invoice, then press either the Tab or Enter key. The T/C box is populated with the default tax code applied in the supplier record. This can be changed if required. In this example, the default tax code is T1, 20%. If the goods being purchased are exempt from tax, this can be changed to T2, exempt. Please note, if you are not registered for VAT, enter the gross invoice amount in the Net box and change the tax code to T9. The VAT box is automatically calculated based on the net amount and tax code selected. If there's a rounding difference between the VAT amount shown in the VAT box and the VAT amount shown on the supplier invoice, this can be amended accordingly. The gross box is automatically calculated based on the net amount and VAT amount. To amend the gross value, either the net, tax code, or VAT boxes must be changed. For example, for an invoice item for £1,000, including VAT, rather than £1,000 plus VAT, calculate the net and VAT split by entering the gross value in the net box. Then from the toolbar, select Calculate Net, or press the F9 function key. The net, VAT, and gross amounts are then changed accordingly. The disputed column appears only in Sage 50 Accounts Professional, versions 28.1 and above, and allows a supplier invoice to be marked as disputed as it's created. To mark an invoice as disputed, click the drop-down, then select an appropriate reason. We'll look at the final 4 columns in a separate video. Let's enter a second item for the same invoice. From the next line down, select the same supplier. Alternatively, to copy the data from the cell above, from the toolbar, click Copy Cell Above, or press the F6 function key. Repeat this process for the date, due on, and ref boxes. When adjacent invoice lines share the same account, date, and ref, they are grouped together in the supplier account. To record invoice lines individually, enter different data in the ref box. Manually enter an extra ref if required, or copy it from the cell above. Alternatively, to increment the extra ref by 1, from the toolbar, select Copy Cell Above +1, or press the keys Shift and S6. To assign the second item line to a different nominal code, click the drop-down and select the required code. Assign any department, project ref, and cost code as required. Enter the details of the item being purchased. Enter the net value, then select the required tax code. Let's add one more line to the invoice, this time for a different tax code. From the next line down, copy the data from the cells above. For the account, date, due on, and ref boxes. Complete the remainder of the boxes as required. This time, the item line is exempt from VAT. To change the tax code, click the drop-down, select T2, Exempt Transactions, and click OK. The VAT box now shows 0. Each time a new line is added, the net, VAT, and gross totals update. To save the invoice, click Save. Alternatively, further invoices can be created within the window for either the same or different suppliers. Once you're happy, click Save. To close the Batch Supplier Invoice window, click Close.